I was actually born in Bomoshar, Nigeria, West Africa, but we lived in South Carolina for a number of years, in North Carolina. When I was 7 years old in 1959, we took everything we owned into one car and drove it out to California, and 8 of us in the family, 8 children. All of the children went through East High School. 8th grade, I used to run after school at Washington Junior High. I would run over to East High School and wrestle with the wrestling team. That was when it was legal. And I weighed 86 pounds as a freshman. My brother Jonathan, who was a year older than me, weighed 82 pounds. So when we came to school, we were little bitty guys. We couldn't do anything, and wrestling was perfect for us. In our house, we didn't really have a choice. We had 8 kids. We got up at 5:30 every morning. My mother got up at 5. We all had we ate together at 5:30. Then we all had to practice our musical instrument. Everybody played a musical instrument. You either played, and the way you got your instruments was at a certain point in time. My dad would come in and he said, "This is the instrument you're going to play." I played the trombone, and really enjoyed the band, orchestra. I played 2 years in orchestra. A trombone doesn't play that many parts, so it wasn't that interesting. But the band I played in, marching band, concert band, we traveled a lot, had a good time in music. I was in CSF, a number of other clubs here on campus. But the main thing I enjoyed was wrestling. Well, one of the things that was nice about wrestling here at East High, there were a number of good kids that were in this program, and because we had such a great coach, we were able to be a step above most of the people. In 1967, which I was a sophomore, I made the junior world team, and we traveled to Europe. We were supposed to wrestle in the junior world championships, but there was a number of issues with Israel and fighting, and so we went to Germany and we wrestled some dual meets. 2 years later, in 1969, I made the U.S. world team, junior world team, 18 and under, and they had the world championships in Boulder, Colorado. And I won. The U.S. beat the Russians, which is the first time we'd beat them in 1969 in a long time. We beat them, and I won the junior world. I went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. In 1973, I won the NCAA championships at Cal Poly. I placed in the Division I championships, although I was seeded number 1. I didn't win the tournament. But that same year, I made the U.S. world team, which is the senior world team. And traveled to Iran, wrestled in the world championships, placed 4th in the world championships in Iran. That's when the Iranians loved Americans. They loved us there. Came back to Bakersfield and coached for 5 years at Cal State. Helped out. I was assistant coach there. The 5 years I was there, we won the Division II tournament the 5 years. We were 14th, 12th, 9th, 7th, 5th Division I. We had 4 Olympians, and we did a great job for a short term. When I got out of coaching, for a number of years I was not involved in coaching, so I had the time to learn a business. Because my degree, I have a master's in education, but I got into commercial real estate, which had absolutely nothing to do with commercial real estate. And so for the next 7 or 8, 9 years, I worked pretty hard learning the business, and it's been overall a very good business long term. So in wrestling for me, it's been very good to me. It's given me a platform to be able to share with people about the good things that the sport has done and what God has done for me in my life. And so when I get an opportunity to do something like this, I like to say to people that, number one, I want to thank the Lord for giving me parents that loved me, and parents that cared about us, said that they would discipline us to the point that we would many times not like it, but ultimately the discipline created values that would be very successful. So for me to be a part of the Hall of Fame, it's a blessing that I can share with other people and say, it wasn't me that was a great wrestler. It's my mom, my dad, my coach, the school, all the people along the way that have been a part of my life to help me get to this position.